I'm here with Jan Häglund from Ericsson, and we're going to talk about the evolution and development of the core network for the cloud. Yep. So, Jan, this is a pretty major topic for all operators as they look to evolve their networks. You know, 5G's in the future, but the work starts now. Can you just give us a little bit of background before we get to the details of how the packet core is evolving for mobile operators?
Yeah, no, as you say, Ray, thanks for that. I mean, core is really a key topic now with customers, and there are so many things changing. We're here in the hall, the Ericsson hall in Barcelona, and there are several things around core and the evolution to 5G. I mean, 5G is not just about today's network with consumer, but it's going to address also new industries, and that by itself will put new requirements on the network. It's also going to put requirements on being more agile to more requirements, since these industries, they want to be fast moving, and they want us and they want the network to be able to change with them. Right. Network slices is one of the key concepts, and then as you say, the applications themselves need to be optimized for 5G and need to be optimized for the cloud environment that they're going to be running through.
Okay, so how is the packet core evolving? What's the difference between now and how it will be in 2, 3, 4 years' time?
Yeah. So I mean, the packet core evolution is based on today's EPC, that's where we are today.
Yep.
And then in standardization, lots of things are happening. The next generation or 5G core, as it's being defined, that's in the works right now, to be specified and finalized probably mid-2018. And one of the key things Ericsson is committed to make sure that the early launches of 5G and what's called the non-standalone mode are possible to do, probably big trials during 2019. So it's pretty much around the corner. Packet core is a key part of that, and the control plane, user plane separation is one of the key things that will allow for more scalability, if you want, for new features.
Okay. And are there any particular innovations that Ericsson's working on that's maybe, advancing that move towards that new packet core?
I mean, one of the things that I mentioned was optimizing our applications for cloud, really making sure that the software code is written for cloud. And many of these cloud native principles are into our software right now. One key thing we're showing here is optimizing the throughput, because obviously high throughput, making sure that we get tens and tens of gigabit per host. That's actually here on stand in Barcelona. That's one of the key things. Another key thing would be automation. How do you deploy lifecycle managed without any people interfering? That's another thing we're showing here in Barcelona this year.
Okay. So what are the key considerations for a mobile operator as they plan for the modernization of the core? What do they need to be thinking about now?
I think the general advice, start small, think big, is always valid. Think about the long-term architecture, where you want to be. Think through the orchestration strategy of your cloud. So building an NFV infrastructure is one of the things we see now with leading operators.
Okay.
At the same time, making sure that the applications are designed for cloud and optimized for cloud. That's another thing, making sure that you have the right partner for that, and we think Ericsson is.
So a lot of the evolution and development is very much on the software side these days. It's not really just a hardware issue. And operators are talking about wanting cloud native software and applications. So how does that translate into what companies like Ericsson are doing?
It's all about software and making that software run, making it run towards the customers with the business values, to make sure that you have applications written for cloud and enabled for network slices. What Ericsson is doing, we have a software architecture that we've refactored quite substantially during the last couple of years. We have microservice architecture where the software is pretty neatly designed into components that enables us to be very fast in our internal development. What we do is also to think through how to package that towards our customers. How to package that into larger entities for automation and lifecycle management, and also to package it for performance. So those kind of trade-off, performance, automation, microservices architecture is something we're spending a lot of thought on.
Okay, excellent. So lots of thought and planning going into how this is evolving, but it seems like the road there, the path is ready for how this is going to modernize.
The path is there, lots of considerations, many trade-offs in fact to be done.
Right.
But I think the direction is pretty clear. It's about the 5G core network, it's about the agility, the time to market and innovation, and making sure that our applications support that.
Okay, excellent. Jan, thanks for talking to us today. Thank you.